Planning a wedding can create anxiety for just about anybody. But if it's a 3-day Indian affair, well, those butterflies can kick in way before saying your I do's in front of your closest 1,000 friends and family members. On this episode, I have with me one of the most respected international wedding planners working in the industry today. He's planned weddings all over the globe, from Mexico, US, England, Spain. The list goes on and on. You name the country, he's done a wedding there. It's a privilege to introduce you to one of my dearest friends in the business, the one, the only, Nisar Naimi. What do you think about that royalty for music?
I feel like a celebrity. Thank you. I'll take this entrance any day.
Thank you for joining me on Everything Everywhere Weddings.
I'm excited.
We could finally chat about weddings, your whole adventure, your journey in doing weddings.
I feel like I should be getting like a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Here you go.
Thank you.
And many more.
Thank you.
I don't know if you know this, but it's actually been about 17 years to the date.
Oh, wow.
To the date.
I didn't think about that.
You reached out to me.
Wow.
And you were working with Sabrina Hans, another incredible wedding planner.
Yeah.
And you said, Robert, we haven't worked together, but I'm sure that if you do an amazing job, we'll have plenty of work together in the future. That's how it happened.
I thought about that quite a lot when you brought this opportunity. So absolutely, it's crazy. I didn't think of the date.
And so from that point, it flourished into a beautiful relationship.
Absolutely.
If it hadn't been for you and Sabrina, I wouldn't be here right now and doing all these incredible Indian weddings.
Well, likewise, if it wasn't for you, you helped me kind of navigate and became family for me. And it was those first few years, so thank you.
Yeah, and you know what? One of the things that I've learned over the years is to appreciate Indian food. I am so glad
Good
that
Indian food.
Yeah. And you know what? And what better place to try Indian food that here at India House,
Absolutely.
Chicago.
Absolutely.
Incredible. I'm so excited. Are you ready to talk some shop?
I'm ready. I'm excited.
Let's do it. Excuse me, table for two, please.
I have to ask, have you ever had masala chai before?
I have not.
Because this is true chai. This is the real chai.
Wow, amazing. I'm so glad to be trying this.
Yeah.
This is excellent. Yeah. So as we're trying all these goodies, tell me, how did you start in this business?
Well, actually, so I started off by working with another planner, Sabrina Hans Events.
Absolutely.
What was supposed to be like a weekend job making, some extra money in college. Yeah. I ended up going full-time and working right with her, and after 11 years of working with her, I learned so much.
She's incredible.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, she knows what she's doing, and she's one of the pioneers in the South Asian industry. So I learned a lot, and I met you, of course, in the process. Yeah. After 11 years, I decided to then kind of branch off on my own and launch my company. But yeah, I started off working with Sabrina Hans on a weekend basis and then full-time.
At what point did you know that you're going to want to travel the world and become this amazing South Asian Indian wedding planner?
There's always this dream of traveling the world. I tend to get bored really easily. After 10 years in my company, I was like, okay, I've done this. I need something new. I need a change. I need something, a change of pace and scenery. And I knew I wanted to do, Europe is the all-time dream. I'm sure
Definitely.
you agree.
Oh my gosh.
Between Europe, Asia, and Latin America. And so we made an active effort to take it global, and it paid off.
People always say, family's always number one. It's really important. And I didn't really understand that until I was immersed into the Indian culture. I've learned so much by being within the community. Yeah. And when you are within the community, even though you've got a different skin color, they treat you like family.
I mean, one of the most rewarding things is meeting, I feel like, the grandparents.
Yes.
They're the ones I feel like spoil us the most. Right?
The grandparents are always walking up to me. The grandmother's always like, "Did you eat?"
Yeah.
You know.
And how amazing is it to have them be a part of the celebration, right? And to see that and those blessings. And yeah, I agree. I agree.
When it comes to, planning a wedding, what is your role from like A to Z? In summary.
Because are you here for a few hours?
Oh, I've got my chai.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm ready. I got my chai. I got my water.
Exactly. That's all you need. Well, first and foremost, I always say, beyond a planner, especially when we are doing South Asian weddings, I think any wedding for that matter, but I think South Asian weddings, because there's so many different facets to it, our clients are allowing us into their lives in a very intimate manner. So first and foremost, we're human. I'm a human with a heart, and so I go through everything with emotion. You can't be without emotion. Beyond that, of course, I'm a planner helping them with details and the logistics of their event, but our job goes far beyond that.
You're almost like a therapist.
We're a therapist or a counselor.
Whatever it is.
We're an accountant.
Right.
We are a designer, a decorator. We're coming up with creative ideas. We are engineers, because we have to. Everyone says, "Give me something new." Yeah. And you've got to be able to think on your spot, right? We're a problem solver. You're managing your team. You're a boss. But I'm also a son. I'm a husband. I'm a family member. So there's always balancing that portion out too, because our evenings and our weekends and everything go to this, right? So it's a lot. It's a lot. I love it because I love challenges, but it's a lot.
You're not a typical Indian planner. You do so much more than that. Like, I'll never forget the one time I saw you, and it's many times afterwards, but you were helping, with the saris. And it's like, wow, I had no idea that Nisar knows how to do that. Like, he's better than some of the aunties that I've seen come in there.
I mean, how could you not, right? Because that, to me, it's that represents my event. They represent my event. They represent my work.
You are in total control of the event.
I mean, I'd let them say that, but I wouldn't want to limit myself to just my job, because, again, if there's someone elderly or a bridesmaid or someone who's walking in and needs that sari tied, and if I can do it, then why not, right? It's a family affair, and I'm very particular about. I have to have a connection with you before having before you be my client, because to me, we're putting our heart and soul, literally, blood, sweat, and tears into these events. If I'm going to take your event, I'm going to give everything.
Yeah, for sure. Not to list everything that I've seen you do, but like introducing the barat. You explain it to people that have never been to an Indian wedding what a barat is. I mean, no one else has ever done that.
Well, I have to be honest with you. I didn't always do that. It's been a few years since I started doing that, but because you have this realization that you can't. We as South Asians tend to expect people to understand what's happening, and it's a lot. It's a sensory overload as to what's happening. And so to me, it was like, okay, if we can give them some sort of idea as to what to expect in front of them, especially since that's a kickoff of really what's happening. Why not?
Yeah,
it helps. It puts things into perspective.
Yeah, and with everything that's going on throughout the whole weekend, how do you stay collected the entire weekend? How do you manage? I mean, like you said, you're only human.
Well, let me tell you, the collected behavior doesn't happen at home, but when we're in front of the crowd. I tell my clients all the time, there's no such thing as perfect. Not in life, not in weddings, not in anything. What is perfect, though, is how things are handled if they come up. And honestly, the biggest thing is communication and trust. The wedding industry, I feel like, is not like the corporate world where things are black and white. There's gray area here, and that gray area is emotions, right? Trust that you've hired the best team possible to make your vision come to life to the best that they can do. And so if something does come up, know that it's your planner or any other person that you've hired to be on your team is going to make the best decision in that manner. But you have to hold your cool. It takes a lot of patience. Don't get me wrong. Behind the scenes, we're always like, but I think I owe a lot of that to my team as well. To have a solid team behind you who will, have your back, or also knows what your expectations are and implements that, my team is my heart and soul of my company.
Hands down, they're incredible.
Hands down.
Yeah. What I love about working with you, Nisar, is that, like you said, you treat everyone fairly, whether you're the client, whether you're the vendor, you're there to make everyone's life a little bit easier.
I have a philosophy that you get what you pay for, right? If you want the best of the best, there's resources and there's vendors and all of us are there to do that. But of course, there's a price tag attached to that, right? And so we want to be fair to everybody in that regard. But anyone who I associate myself with, I take pride and joy with knowing that they will deliver beyond, above and beyond. And that's what's so great about working with people like you or Indie House. They deliver. There's that trust. So.
Thank you. And in regards to people being on a budget, not everybody is going to be able to afford a certain vendor. How do you recommend that couples prioritize their budgets?
Hands down, photography and videography, because those are the memories that last a lifetime. And the second thing would be decor. And the reason why I say that is because you can be in a garage, right? And with the right lighting and decor, it'll transform a space.
That's true.
And the third thing that probably matters the most in a South Asian wedding, and this is what people remember, regardless of what centerpiece or what was happening and what entertainment you had, is the food. Food is the soul of every South Asian wedding.
Definitely.
And so to me, I tell everybody, I will work with you on your budget. I will come with options for you that work within your budget and that don't compromise your needs. But the one thing as a planner I will not compromise on is your food and the cost of that food that's related to that, because this is the heart and soul of that, the wedding.
I agree, 100%. Over the years since you started, I mean, you've seen a lot within the industry. How would you say that the wedding industry has changed in the last 15, 16 years?
Our industry is dependent on fashion. When the fashion changes, decor changes. When decor changes, trends change, right? And so we always see that every year. There was this strong push towards almost, for lack of better words, westernizing the traditions.
Okay, yeah.
Be it from what you're wearing to how the food is presented or how the food is made, the decor. I see things coming back to a very traditional root now.
Oh, wow.
From what she's wearing and the colors, the reds and the golds and all that. A lot of that is coming back, but also explaining the meaning behind it has become key in every facet, whether it's the priest and the priest explaining what is actually happening and what it means.
I love that. I love it when the priest explains it, even though I see it, the traditions every weekend, but it's a nice way to recall, oh yeah, that's what that.
I've learned a lot through it. I've learned a ton.
Oh yeah.
And every family has their own traditions, and so things are always different. And I love the fact that it's different between every family. But explaining that when the food is served, what are we eating? Menu cards with the description of what exactly is being presented to us and why, right? It's not just about now food on a table, it's about timing as well. Let's serve this at this time versus this time so it makes sense. Right. So I feel like we're going back to the basics, but taking those basics and really, really, really enhancing it through the details and the explanations on that.
What kind of words of encouragement or advice would you give them to the newly engaged couple as they're starting this journey?
Take their time. Take their times. Weddings have gone from being a wedding to now being a production. And I do feel like they're slowly coming back, but I feel like for a while, weddings had become a trend versus an emotion, a responsibility.
Got it.
But it's not about how much money you're spending. It's not about how many floral decorations you have or what entertainment you had. Your wedding is because of that person standing across from you. That's the essence of it. Budget, of course, do a budget, and have fun in the process. Like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect wedding. If anyone said that to you, they or we are lying. There is no such thing as a perfect wedding. What is perfect is how you handle it. So again, trust the team that you've put together. And I tell every bride and groom of mine, beyond the cost of a vendor, you have to have a chemistry. You have to be able to talk to them very openly and trust them. Chemistry is key to a successful wedding. If you have that rapport, you're going to very well have a successful wedding. And if something comes up, just trust that they're there to fix it.
I remember being at a wedding with you. You said to me, Robert, if you're going to do weddings with us, you're going to have to eat like us.
That is true.
Yeah, and I never forgot that. And the first thing that I thought was, oh dear, you sat me down, we had dinner together. I think you made sure that I ate everything on my plate.
That's what we learned. Everything
right.
Yep.
And you know what? That was a wonderful experience, which is why I wanted us to come back to a place like this, India House. It has wonderful, amazing food. If you're ready, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Wow, what an incredible feast. I love this.
Thank you. We're going to start with some dessert because this is our tradition in India. Like in the weddings, you go to somebody's house, you start with some dessert, like sweet. So we're going to start with one of our famous dessert in India. That's called gulab jamun. I'm going to show you. That's in the middle. That's the gulab jamun. So this is like a ball with like sweet, and then we call
Sugar syrup.
sugar syrup. That's the sugar syrup. Yeah, soak in sugar syrup for like 24, 48 hours. Then you serve it. Delicious. So I have a few pieces for you guys. Try it.
Perfect.
Excellent. Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Now, tradition is that you eat an entire one.
Oh
You're
my
getting
gosh.
a half.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm
That's
definitely have to go to the gym after this.
You guys, Robert, you start.
Okay, so we just take it on the spoon like that.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, this is definitely outside my comfort zone, Nisar. I've
Enjoy
never
it.
had anything like this
Enjoy
before.
it.
All right. Okay.
Thank you so much. And the great thing is with this, you can pair it up with so many different things. Ice cream, Indian, rubbery, anything,
God.
hot and cold.
I think this is like my favorite dessert now. I love this.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you say this goes well with coffee, or
You can pair it up with ice cream. You can pair it up. You can do like usually when we do desserts, we do a hot and a cold at an event. This is traditionally served hot, but pairing it up with like a rubbery or a vanilla ice cream to kind of bring that fusion flair is always nice.
I love that. I love it. When I come into India House, what should I expect?
Okay, so we have like a lot of, so let's start with the beginning. So India House, the name is like 25, 30 years serving to our local community. And then we have so many famous items, like our signature items. Yeah. So I'm gonna start with one of the very famous is called chicken tikka masala. So whenever you like next time come, you should try it.
Anything with chicken, I love. I love it already.
Try with the garlic bread, garlic naan, and it's like super delicious.
You won't eat anything else. So good.
Yeah.
I'm excited
The
about
OG
that.
of Indian food.
Excellent. Wonderful.
All right, so let's move to our second one.
Let's
So,
do it. Let's do it.
All right, so now we have very famous street food, and every house you go to India, that's the first thing they will serve you. That's called samosa, stuffed with potato and peas, and then we serve with two salsas, chutneys here, we call it chutney. So one is mint chutney, and the middle is tamarind chutney.
Okay.
So tamarind is kind of sweet and sour, and then the mint chutney is like sour.
Got it. Got it.
And the great thing is, for
Yeah.
someone who's not had Indian food,
Right.
it's mild, so it's a familiar staple.
Good.
So it pairs well with that regard.
Understood. I feel comfortable in that regard. So which one do you think I should try?
I want to give you something spicy.
Oh boy. All right.
It's not really spicy. It's actually.
Thanks, sir. Let's see what this is like. Okay.
Nisar, you want to try?
Sure. I'm good. I'll taste this.
Mmm.
How was it?
I love it. Actually, I love that sauce. You said chutney?
Yeah, got
It's,
chutney.
it's incredible. Oh my gosh.
Try it with the tamarind now, kind of sweet.
So the great thing is, you can make it sweet, or you can make it, a little spicier, depending on what your preferences are. You'll always have this accompanying some of these, hors d'oeuvres and appetizers. This is amazing. This is wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm never going to be shy in trying Indian food again. Oh my gosh.
The thing is, you can't shy away from some of these familiar staples, because this is what people know, this is what people feel comfortable with. So I think every wedding should have some familiar staples a part of their menu.
I always see these, and I've never had one.
You never tried it?
No, I've never tried it because I just wasn't sure what it was. That's why I knew I came with the right person, and of course came to the right restaurants.
Perfect. Yeah.
You guys are
Next
awesome.
wedding, I'm going to test you.
Oh
What
boy.
item is what?
Oh boy.
So next we're gonna go to one of our famous street food. So that's right there in the corner. That's called Panipuri. So pani is like water, puri is like a ball. That ball is, we call it Panipuri. So pani, we have a different kind of panis. We make it like, we have multiple, like 5, 6. We do it mango, tamarind, mint. We do a lot of panis, but famous one, the one we have it today, is called mint.
And this is always done as a live station at these events.
Oh,
Oftentimes
yeah.
you see the chef standing behind the counter.
Definitely.
Because people like the action and the way it's made. This is a very popular street food.
Yes. Okay.
Kind of in the background. If you want to add a little bit of zest to it, add a little bit of vodka. That's another option.
yeah,
But
Yeah, you might want to try it.
so you pour the water into the puff,
Okay.
and then you take a mouthful. You eat it all.
Okay. All right. I'm assuming you have to eat it quickly because it's going to.
Yep. This one's got a little bit of a kick.
Yeah, it's good. Every dish that we've tried thus far has a different flavor,
Yeah.
and each one is very tasteful.
And I think that's key. Actually, you mentioned a key thing, because the flavor, because there's different ingredients, different spices, this presentation is incredible.
Yeah, it is.
But what really highlights Indian food is the temperature it's served at, the proper temperature it's served at. So while we see this, certain things like the naan or the biryani or something that has to be served piping hot. And those are things that collectively between chef and the catering manager and ourselves, we take into account when we're planning these events.
Chef McCool, do you see that there's a lot more people coming in off the street and trying Indian food?
Definitely, I would say yes, because now our food is just not food. We are spreading our culture through our like food and everything, our like environment. And the way I see it, like we are expanding our food, the way like fusion, we are making so many different items. The way you see on the tables, we have different food, and the way they look good.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely it does.
Yeah, so that's the reason I would say we are seeing more and more people coming here, and different communities, different kind of people they're coming.
And a lot of the ingredients are great for your health. Fresh ingredients, between the spices, there's a lot of things that really constitute a great, an attraction to the Indian food.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna go to our favorite and everybody's favorite. That's called naan.
Nice.
Naan is kind of bread. So we cooked same in clay oven, tandoor. Different kind of naans. We have like garlic, onion.
Love garlic.
Yeah.
I love garlic.
There's no Indian food without naan.
Nice. Okay. Good to know. Yes, I actually, Nan and I, we become best friends. We're like besties. So
You basically-
that's usually what I eat. Yeah.
So now I wanted to introduce you one of our famous drinks.
Ooh, does it have alcohol in there?
No.
Oh,
It
shoot.
doesn't have it.
That's
That's after the production. Got it.
Let's make a toast.
So a toast to Everything Everywhere Weddings here at India House with two of the most amazing vendors that I have worked with. Nisar Naimi, an incredible
Thank you. Likewise.
wedding planner, and of course India House.
Catering.
Yeah, it's been such a pleasure getting to know you. The cuisines are incredible. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
And looking to doing many more weddings together.
Absolutely, likewise. Oh, you
Wow.
can't go wrong with this.
Oh my gosh.
This is good.
I think I need a jug of this. Where's there? Do we have a keg of this?
Right?
Well, that's all the time we have today on Everything Everywhere Weddings. As always, keep booking those weddings.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.